Hello, St. Philip's. Hope you all are having a good week. It's Father Richard with the Weekly Word. I guess I want to say this week especially, wow, we're back to in-person worship, and what a blessing that has been. 2.5 weeks ago now, we kind of ended up inside because of how bad the weather was, and the wind was blowing everything like all over the place at drive-in worship, and finally just had to throw up our hands and just say, well, let's just go inside, and everybody was game and willing to do that. So we just did it, and it just happened, and several people said to me, maybe this is the Lord's way of telling us that it's time to come back to in-person worship, and maybe it was. But last Sunday was a real blessing. We had over 50 people in the nave of the church worshiping together. As long as we just observe all the common sense rules and all the safety guidelines for this season of pandemic, we'll be good. And we don't have to pre-register. You just show up and worship with your sisters and brothers. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But we're gathering at 9:30 on Sunday mornings. We also still have our virtual presence. The service will be recorded live, and then our stream team, that's what we're calling our technical crew, the stream team. The stream team will be sending that out immediately at 9:30 on Sundays, and then it'll also be recorded immediately and archived to YouTube, so you can watch it after that. I also want to say something this week about an opportunity coming up next week. That's Tuesday, May the 4th. Very important. Our church has been privileged to be chosen as one of only 18 congregations, all in the urban core of Nashville, to participate in Project Thrive, which is an outreach of Belmont University. And it's designed to basically do exactly what it says: help congregations thrive, or learn how to thrive, or come up with new strategies and learn new ways of thriving, continuing to thrive. And so there are a lot of different kinds of churches. There are Methodist churches and Baptist, and we're the one Episcopal entry, but there's also a couple of African-American congregations and some evangelical community churches. So this is a real blessing for us, and we are having a series of conversations in the congregation to answer some questions that will help us move forward to thrive. We already had one conversation, and that was about looking at who we are. What is our present, what's our identity as a church? We had that conversation already a couple months back. Now, the second of 3 conversations is going to happen, and that's going to take place next Tuesday, May the 4th at 6:30 p.m. in Dimmick Hall. It will be in person, but it will also be on Zoom. So if you don't feel comfortable coming back or being there for that, you can participate in Zoom. Basically, think about this next conversation is, if the first conversation was looking at ourselves, or looking in a mirror maybe to see who we are, this second conversation, the one for next Tuesday, is looking out the windows. And we're going to be looking at all kinds of interesting research and data about what is our context for mission. What does the neighborhood look like around St. Philip's in the Donaldson area? We've got maps, we've got research, we've got demographic charts, we've got all kinds of stuff, and it's fascinating and enlightening and illuminating, and it'll help us to understand. And when we look out the window of our church, if you will, metaphorically speaking, who do we see out there, and what are their needs, and how can we meet those needs? That's the most important thing of all. How can we truly love our neighbor and be the face of Christ to them? So that's next Tuesday, 6:30, Dimmick Hall. Please come. We really would love to have a good turnout and have lots of different voices in this conversation. The best part of all is food will be served, and I even made a special sign. I hope you can see it. Yeah, there it is. And this took hours for me to make this special sign, but just take a look at that. And this will remind you, okay? We'll put this on happenings too, but it's next Tuesday. Come at 6:15, ready to have something to eat. And then at 6:30, we'll begin the presentation. There's a coach from Project Thrive that our leadership team has been working with, and he'll facilitate the evening. We will be done by 8. Start at 6:30, done at the stroke of 8, I promise. My most excellent promise. Please join us next Tuesday. If you forget any of this information, look for it. It'll be in Happenings. We'll also be sending a one-call reminder. God's peace and God's blessing be with you all. Amen.